Good afternoon. With my presentation today, I hope to build your awareness of Beowulf, our company, the capital raising that we've recently announced, and our future prospects. We're currently conducting an SDR rights issue in Sweden, and this issue is available to both SDR holders and other investors. It's being done at a very attractive discount. And I'll draw your attention to the fact that the rights issue closes on the 4th of December. We're hoping to raise up to 69 million SEK, and those proceeds will be used to invest across our different business areas, which I'm going to describe for you now. Beowulf is a diversified exploration and development company. We currently have projects in 3 different countries, Sweden, Finland and Kosovo, and a range of commodities within our portfolio: iron ore, graphite, gold and base metals. Beowulf, even though I'm a British CEO, Beowulf has been listed in Stockholm since 2008. We're 68% owned by Swedish shareholders. And our ambition is to be a regional supplier of metals that we believe will be in demand in the future. We have 3 main business areas. Kallak is our most advanced exploration asset. Its potential resource of up to 250 million tons, from which we've produced a market-leading magnetite concentrate of 7.5% iron content. In recent days, you'll have seen announcements by LKAB about a 400 billion investment in fossil-free iron making, and also the Prime Minister talking about building green communities, reducing emissions, and the importance of the mining industry going forward. So really a project such as Kallak is finding its time now. With Fennoscandian, we're developing a resource and production base of natural flake graphite. Fennoscandian is Finland's only developer of natural flake graphite and is developing itself to be the supplier for Finland, to help Finland achieve its ambitions of being in battery manufacturing. And Fennoscandian sits on the doorstep of both Nordic and European markets. And with Vardar, we've made an investment in the very highly prospective Tethyan Belt in southeastern Europe. And our investment is already delivering strong exploration results. Jokkmokk Iron Mines is our 100% owned subsidiary, which holds the Kallak license, the Kallak Iron Ore project. Kallak is located in the basic industry heartland of northern Sweden, both mining and steelmaking. It's in close proximity to renewable power and also infrastructure, with the closest railway passing 40 kilometers away, and port options available at Luleå and in Narvik in Norway, giving it access to both domestic markets and export markets. Beowulf has been developing Kallak since 2006. We acquired our first exploration license in that year. We've invested over 80 million SEK in the project. We've defined a resource which we believe is up to 250 million tons and can support a mining operation for 25 years or more. And we have further exploration potential to the south with our Pakiara number 6 license. As I've said, we've demonstrated the market-leading credentials of Kallak, producing a 71.5% iron content product, which in the context of a growing focus on fossil-free steelmaking in Sweden would be a good addition to the portfolio of feedstock that any steelmaker would be looking to secure. At the present time, we're waiting for a decision on our application for an exploitation concession. But if that concession was awarded, then we believe we're 4 to 5 years from production, given that both project development and environmental permitting processes are synchronized. And in the context of those developments that I've talked about, the drive for fossil-free steelmaking in Sweden, then a project like Kallak fits perfectly within that picture. Moving on to Fennoscandian resources. This is a 100% owned subsidiary of Beowulf. We acquired Fennoscandian in early 2016. And really over the last few years, we've been slowly building this business. Again, it's in a very interesting time for Fennoscandian. Europe and the Nordic region is looking at developing a strategic capability to be manufacturing batteries. And in the context of that, raw material supply is an important factor. Both transparent supply, where do you get your raw materials from, and secure supply. With the rapid growth that's forecast in the development of gigafactories within Europe and the Nordics, there'll be a demand for both anode material and the raw material that is used to manufacture anodes, which is natural flake graphite. We believe that Fennoscandian is ideally positioned in that battery ecosystem that's been developed in Finland. The company is already part of many collaborative networks that are looking at the entire value chain of the battery ecosystem. As I've said, we're looking at developing a resource and production base, but our focus has always been on moving as far downstream as we can. And we've been very well supported in doing that with funding from Business Finland. This has enabled us to do the preliminary test work, but also advanced test work to determine the suitability of Aitolampi graphite for both the battery market and other value-added graphite products. Aitolampi is in an ideal location. It's in close proximity to the mining and industrial town of Outokumpu. Good infrastructure, access to power, so all the things you need to develop a modern, sustainable mining operation. In 2019, we did another drill program and we upgraded our resource such that we have a resource now of over 1.25 million of contained graphite. And what we've done with our test work is we've developed the almost perfect crystallinity, which is an important prerequisite for high-tech applications, such as lithium-ion batteries. And through purification test work, we've also shown that we could meet the specification required for lithium-ion batteries. Because the gigafactories are getting built and the demand scenario for natural flake graphite is already there, we're looking to accelerate as best we can the work that we do at Aitolampi. And the next stage of technical studies will include a scoping study. And in addition to that, we're looking at producing a meaningful bulk sample through test mining and the establishment of a pilot plant to produce some of those end products that we can then use to pre-qualify our material for customers, which is an important part of the development story for any industrial player. We're also looking at the circular economy and how we can build that into our overall development plan by sourcing graphite materials from recycling. And this is part of our bigger focus on sustainability. Moving on to Kosovo. Beowulf first invested in Kosovo in 2018, and we now own 46% of Vardar Minerals. Vardar, as I said, is in the Tethyan Belt, and the Tethyan Belt is Europe's main copper gold province, highly attractive to lots of mining companies. Vardar has 2 exploration licenses, Mitrovica and Viti. Mitrovica in northern Kosovo is prospective for lead, zinc, silver and copper and gold, and Viti in southeastern Kosovo is prospective for copper, gold and lithium. And we effectively, with our investment in Vardar, backed a highly experienced and technically competent team. Vardar gave Beowulf another exploration arm in 2018. And the Vardar team has already identified and delineated multiple compelling targets, which within our latest investment, which was £300,000, which went in August, funded geophysics, which has produced the information to enable us to define drill targets for a very busy 2021. Our Mitrovica project has 4 different exploration targets on it. Wolf Mountain to the north, which is prospective for lead, zinc, silver, Majan Peak in the middle, which is prospective for gold, Mitrovica South, which is prospective for zinc, copper, and gold. And then what we believe that underlies all of this is a larger mineralized system. What also makes this very interesting is the existence and the proximity of the Stan Terg mine to the east of the exploration license. Within this bigger picture that Vardar is steadily building out, we have everything connected. And so we are very excited about this, even though it doesn't show on my face sometimes. There was significant work done on Wolf Mountain in 2018, which basically defined an area of mineralization 800 meters by 400 meters. Both trenching and drilling intercepted mineralization. And in trenches, we found grades of up to 5% combined lead and zinc. The conclusion of all of this work was that there were potentially high-grade feeder structures feeding the mineralization that we were observing and sampling at surface. And that is what the geophysics has shown us. If you look at the cross-section to the bottom left-hand corner, the black arrows are pointing to white patches, which are the geophysical anomalies that we have identified through the geophysics program. Where these white anomalies come to surface, we have sampled lead zinc mineralization. And these white patches represent the potential high-grade feeder structures and also the drill targets that we will be working on in 2021. With Majan Peak, we have another large-scale anomaly. Vardar this year has been able to conduct soil sampling and grab sampling, which has proven the scale of the anomaly, which is 1,400 meters by 700 meters. And you can see there the gold circles, which are delineating the gold in soils. The geophysics from Majan Peak has then shown us further anomalies. And what you've got on the left-hand side of this picture is the anomalies with the black arrow pointing to the anomaly as we move east to west through Majan Peak. And again, where the anomaly comes to surface, we have already sampled gold mineralization. So this represents another exciting drill target for 2021. And finally, in the Vardar portfolio, we have Viti. Viti, we haven't reported the results of the geophysics yet, those should come in the coming weeks. But what we have through the 2019 program is identified intense alteration, which usually is the mechanism which is allowing metals to be introduced into the system that we're observing. And we also have oxidized mineralization at surface. And the two drill holes that we put down last year intersected copper and gold mineralization. So again, this represents another exciting porphyry target within the overall portfolio. So just to conclude, we're making progress across all our business areas in Beowulf. With Kallak, we have the expectation of forthcoming decision. We have in the wider environment in Sweden, a drive for fossil-free industry, a drive for fossil-free steelmaking, and a focus on sustainable production of raw materials. And as an upstream asset in Kallak, with a large-scale resource which can produce a market-leading concentrate, we have a perfect candidate to be supplying feedstock materials for fossil-free steelmaking in the future. With Fennoscandium, we're building out our resource production base. We're positioned within Finland to be able to enable Finland to achieve its ambitions of self-sufficiency in producing its own batteries. And we're sitting on the doorstep of Nordic and European markets. And then with Vardar, as I've shown you from the geophysics, just on 2 out of the 4 targets we have at Mitrovica, we have exciting drill targets for 2021. So there's a very busy year ahead. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Kurt. Now it's time for the Q&A. And we'll take the first question. And can you tell us what you'll be focusing on most in 2021?
I think from actually in the field work programs, it'll be our exploration in Kosovo. The geophysics that we funded in the autumn is now giving us sets of results week after week. And as you can see from both 2 out of the 4 targets at Mitrovica, we've got drilling opportunities at Wolf Mountain for lead zinc, and we've got drilling opportunities at Majan Peak for the gold. So that will be the prime focus. But to be honest with you, as I just said, we have activity taking place in all 3 areas of our business. So in Finland, technical studies around Aitolampi, investigating options for the pilot plant, doing further test work to produce end products that we can then pre-qualify with customers. That's going to be another very active area. And then with Kallak, if we get a decision on the exploitation concession, and as I've always said, we've done the work to get the decision, a positive decision, then we'll be moving forward with the next stage of project development for Kallak.
Okay, and I know you talked about this in your presentation, but could you tell us a little bit what it is that makes the project Kosovo so interesting?
Well, number one, it's in the Tethyan belt. So with other Balkan countries, there is a lot of activity in the mining sector. Some major projects in Serbia, Rio Tinto is in Serbia, and other large mining companies. Kosovo is the next address on the list of countries that mining companies are looking at. And really, with the Vardar team, we have backed an incredibly experienced and technically competent team. And you can see from the work that I've included in this presentation, what we are seeing is state-of-the-art exploration technologies being used to determine what the next stage of investment will be and what the next development in the work program will be. So we are very excited, even though, as I said, it doesn't show on my face sometimes, for what 2021 could hold in Kosovo.
Okay, thank you for that. And you said that 68% of your shareholders are Swedish. But the next question is, how does the ownership of Beowulf Mining look like, more specifically?
It's 100% retail, which when I say that to advisors, they're a bit shocked. But we have no institutional investors in the company. When I say it's 61% owned by Swedish shareholders now, when I joined the company towards the end of 2014, the company was less than 14% owned by Swedish shareholders. So over that period, it's grown significantly. And I think what the company has been most well known for is its Kallak asset. But what I've been trying to do, especially with the capital raising that we've got on the go at the moment, is explain to the company how diversified the company is now. And sometimes it may seem that we are not focused on any one particular area, but what we have is standalone business areas which run themselves, and we've got activity in all our business areas. So we are incredibly focused on what we're doing.
Okay, time for the last question. The company's vision is to build a sustainable and innovative mining company. What makes Beowulf unique in that aspect?
I was going to say me. No, my experience I've been in the mining industry for over 20 odd years, or it's 25 years now. And so I've gained a lot of experience. I have a real passion for sustainable development. When we look at a project like Kallak, we want to develop it in partnership with the community and all the stakeholders up in Jokkmokk. I mean, Kallak is a project that has represents the opportunity to just transform a community, all sections of the community, and be a positive influence. So that's what we've been English expression have been really desperate to move forward with in recent years. And it's, again, when we look at the context of where we're developing our project and the direction Sweden is going, both in terms of a green transition, fossil-free steelmaking, supportive comments from the Prime Minister, Stefan Löfven, around building green communities and reducing emissions while creating new jobs. That's exactly what we want to do in Jokkmokk. We have a project that can generate over 550 jobs for up to 25 years or more. This is a great opportunity. And also, as we've shown, it's a market-leading concentrate, which can supply fossil-free steelmaking into the future. So I'm not sure I answered your question about uniqueness, but I think it's mindset. about our ambition, what we believe is achievable, and fundamentally it's achievable because Sweden is a leading mining nation.
Okay, Kurt, thank you very much for your presentation and your good answers, and it's been a pleasure having you here, and good luck in the future.
Thank you very much indeed.